Tonight's episode, we're going to go through the schedule. The Knicks schedule has just been released, and it's interesting, man. It's going to be an interesting 82-game battle for the orange and blue, so we're going to talk about it on tonight's show. Special guests. Tonight's panel, we got my guy JD Sports Talk returning. JD, how you feeling, bro?
Feeling good. Excited to talk Knicks schedule, some big dates, and excited for the show here with Puma.
Yes, sir. And special guest making his KnicksFanTV debut, the owner, Art to Ink Tattoo Studio, Uptown Harlem World, and also one of the stars of Black Ink Crew on their 9th season on VH1. We got Paul Robinson, aka Puma. Puma, welcome to the show, man. Thanks
What's
for coming
going on,
bro.
man? I appreciate y'all having me. You know what I mean? Diehard Knicks fan here, so it's a pleasure to be on KnicksFanTV.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. So let's get into the schedule, fellas. So we're back to an 82 game schedule. 72 was last year's, back to 82. And one of the first things that stuck out to me, number one, was 22 nationally televised games for the Knicks. The league is showing the Knicks love. The orange and blue is back. Put some respect on our name. 22 nationally televised games and 7 on NBA TV. So 29 sorta. But you have the home opener on ESPN against the Celtics on the 20th. They're at Philadelphia. No, they got Philadelphia coming to the Garden. We go see Milwaukee. Bobby Portis and the defending champs. November 5th on ESPN. You got Knicks and Lakers at MSG on TNT, November 23rd. Knicks and Nets in Brooklyn, November 30th. That's another TNT game. Golden State, Chef Curry coming to town, maybe with Clay, December 14th on TNT. You got the Hawks game Christmas Day at Madison Square Garden, ESPN. Boston again on January 6th, TNT. You got Kristaps, Luka Doncic, Timmy Hardaway, and the Dallas Mavericks coming to MSG on ESPN January 12th. You got Zion and the Pelicans coming through January 20th on TNT. Knicks again playing the Milwaukee Bucks on national TV January 28th. You got John Moran and company coming through on February 2nd. That's another ESPN game. The Lakers again February 5th in LA on ABC. Knicks and Nets at MSG on February the 16th. And then you got Miami coming through to the Garden February 25th. That's an ESPN game. A home and home against Philly. One on ABC, one on ESPN. That's on February 27th, March 2nd, respectively. And then you got Knicks going to see CP3 and company in Phoenix, March 4th on ESPN. March 6th, you got Knicks and Clippers on ESPN. And then you have Knicks and Nets again, ABC, ESPN on March 13th and April 6th. Knicks Hawks March 22nd. That's a TNT game at MSG. And yeah, man, it's going to be an interesting schedule. Couple other notes. As I said, the home opener is October 20th. You have the road opener, October 22nd at Orlando. So the home opener is October 20th versus Boston at MSG. Then the road opener, October 22nd at Orlando. Christmas Day against the Hawks at MSG. New Year's Eve, they go to OKC, go play the Thunder on New Year's Eve. You have the typical MLK Day game, which is January 17th versus the Charlotte Hornets. And so those are some of the key dates. Two of the biggest things for me, fellas, is the West Coast trips. Knicks have 2 brutal West Coast trips on this schedule, man, and that could be, once again, the West Coast trip to me is always the equalizer in the Knicks season, man. And the first one they have, which is interesting, let me just pull it up here. The first West Coast trip that they have is at LA. This is February 5th, I believe. At the Lakers, at Utah, at Denver, at Golden State, at Portland. That's February 5th at the Lakers, February 7th at Utah, February 8th at Denver, the 10th at Golden State, and then the 12th at Portland. And then they finish with a 7-game road trip, which is at Philly March 2nd, at Phoenix March 4th, at the Clippers March 6th, at Sacramento March 7th, at Dallas March 9th, at Memphis March 11th, and then in Brooklyn on the 13th. That's heavy, man. That's a 7-game road trip. 7-game road trip, man. JD, I'm going to start with you, bro. What were some of your thoughts on this schedule?
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited about the schedule. From a national television standpoint, the Knicks are seventh highest national TV games, and hey, the Knicks. We talk about the Knicks being a national story. Well, they're gonna have an opportunity this season to have the national media talk about them because they'll see us 22 times and then seven on NBA TV, and it's an exciting time for this franchise. When you look at also some of the other teams that have national TV games, for example, the Bulls, who had a free agent frenzy, but they only have 11. The Heat had some signings, but they're 13th with only 22. So it goes to show you that as long as the Knicks are something, are relevant and they're solid, they're going to be one of the top teams to watch in the NBA. And out of those 29, 18 are at home. So the ratio 18 games at home on national television versus 11 on the road goes to show you the NBA also wanted a lot of these national televised games to be at Madison Square Garden. So that's something else that I'm excited about. Also, we have 17 games until we play the Brooklyn Nets. When the schedule comes out, everyone has their specific teams that you look for. Immediately, you're looking for that team, whether it's the Lakers, the Hawks, the Nets, teams that you want to play. I like that we're playing, the Lakers and, the Nets and some of these other high market teams after we play 10 to 15 games gives us an opportunity to get acclimated, to get some chemistry going so that when we do play some of these teams and these games are anticipated, we have some chemistry going and maybe we can put out a more positive result. And then the back-to-backs. We have about 10 games on the back-to-backs. And when you talk about Derrick Rose and you're talking about Kemba Walker, that's a positive because, there's not a lot of back-to-backs for Tom Thibodeau to manage. And lastly, to your point about that West Coast trip and, some of the tough points in the schedule, when I look at that road trip, I look at, that could be an opportunity for Tom Thibodeau to expand his rotation, especially when we go on these West Coast trips. Those are going to be moments where, you look at the McBrides and the Grimes and some of these other young players to hopefully help you get through those tough stretches. Because when you get to that point, on the West Coast, sometimes the coach looks to manage the minutes more and get contributions from other players on the team. So, and as far as it being tough, hey, this is what we wanted, right, CP? So let's get it.
Play who you play, man. Puma, what was your thoughts when you saw the schedule, man?
Well, one, I was excited to see all the televised games. You know what I'm saying? Like it's good. I can't wait. Now Charles Barkley has no choice but to talk about us on TV. And wait, we're gonna force his hand. You know what I'm saying? Make him talk about us.
Facts.
But it's good to see us being televised again. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one. Mm-hmm. Two, that West Coast, man, the West Coast trips,
it's gonna be heavy, bro.
Like that one where it's the collective, you know what I'm saying, of the elite. So I want to see what we do, but to piggyback what he said, also to see the camaraderie with the team because we have a lot of new players, a lot of good rookies, and they need to gel. The West Coast trips, they usually help bring the team together. You know what I mean? That's the main thing is to make sure we can, gel and flow together because we do got a lot of new signings. A lot of young rookies, and we got to make sure it all flows. You know what I mean? True. Like everybody's very confident, but we still got to make sure it flows right.
True indeed. And so to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. CP, JD, Puma in the building going through this Knicks schedule. And like you said, JD, I mean, look, you can't overlook any of these opponents, right? But just looking at the start of the schedule, home against Boston, then you have a back-to-back against Orlando. Obviously, Philly's going to be tough. Then you're in Chicago, at New Orleans, home against Toronto, at Indiana, at the Milwaukee Bucks, and then home against the Cavs. I mean, those first 10 games, I think we should be able to get off to a good start. I can't say it'll be 8-2, but I think
We should be 500.
we should be
We should be 500
we
at
should.
least.
We should
At the
at least
minimum
at the
500.
minimum. Exactly.
At
At
the
the minimum.
minimum
So
500.
at least we have a chance to start shoot out the gates fairly well. But again, I think those West Coast trips are going to always be dangerous for us, especially the one late in March where it's a 7-game road trip, because that includes at Philadelphia as well. And
we still don't know
what
with Philly, so let's not be too confident about Philly, because we don't know. Nobody knows what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? We really don't know. We don't know
I'm
if Ben
counting
is going to be there, if they're going to trade him.
I feel like Simmons will start there at the very least. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And with Simmons and a healthy Embiid, at the regular season, they're going to be a tough team.
Right.
We at least know that. So that's going to be interesting there. And then another part of the schedule that could be interesting is, I went back to tiebreakers last year. We always talked about the tiebreakers and how, getting swept by the Heat really hurt us. And, those games against Charlotte, those games against Atlanta, like those games mattered. Sweeping the Hawks mattered in terms of us getting that 4th seed. And so, at the end of the season, you're looking at the end of March, we're home against Atlanta, at Charlotte, at Miami, Detroit is a wash. Then you have versus Chicago, versus Charlotte, Cleveland should be a wash, Orlando should be a wash, and you have Brooklyn, and then at Washington, and then finish in Toronto. So that closeout of the month, closing off March, going into April, those could be some games that, could determine our playoff fate. So you got to factor in the tiebreakers against those teams who we're going to be in the hunt against, the Atlantas, the Chicagos, Charlotte. I think Charlotte has improved as well. So I think that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Sure. And like you mentioned, as you broke down the different parts of the schedule and how we should be looking at it, Jonathan Macri, shout out to Jonathan Macri, had mentioned, I saw that he mentioned that out of the first 19, 11 are at home, and 12 of the first 17 are against non-playoff teams. And we play Orlando, Houston, and Cleveland 5 times in the first 16 games. So when you start to break one of the first things that I think about is, like you mentioned, that first, 10 to 15 game stretch. When you look at some of these teams and then you look ahead into the West Coast trip and, the other difficult parts, I'm sorry, CP, but, there's a little bit of expectations with me, at least, for us to get off to a good start. Like, we have to take advantage of, that stretch to be able to create some early separation so that when we get to these tough stretches of the schedule, we have enough wiggle room to where if we can go, we go on a 2 or 3 game losing streak, it doesn't hurt us as much in the standings. So me personally, 2 things I always look at when the schedule comes out as a whole is the first 10 to 15 games and the last 10 to 15 games, because as you want to get off to a good start. And then if you're in the hunt, you want to finish strong, and you're looking at, possibly what teams you're playing to finish the season. So to me, when you set 8-2, hey, if we go 500, to me, I don't know if that's what I expect. At least a few games over 500 is what I would like to start the season.
Yeah. True indeed, man. Let me get the phones up and running. I didn't get to the phones as yet, so hang tight 1 second. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Let me just get the phone started up so that people can call in. 657-383-1509 is the number. Also, join us on the KnicksFanTV Discord to get your thoughts on the schedule. 2 seconds here.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds.
Should be good to go.
3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
Okay, phones are up. Phone lines are up. 657-383-1509. So JD, your expectations are through the roof, man. I mean, when you're looking at this schedule, did we do record prediction? What's your record prediction here based on this early schedule release?
Last time we were they pressed us, the caller. I said 49, and today I'm gonna say 51. I'm gonna go two.
Ooh,
I'm gonna
my
go two
man's
more.
feeling spicy tonight, Puma.
I
Yo,
see.
He's feeling
I
good
see.
right now, man.
The
hey,
confidence is
listen.
very high.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, listen. I just think that if we're going to continue to project, and Tom Thibodeau was able to do that job with last year's roster, and I think we can all agree that if healthy, this team has improved dramatically. And the reason, and it could surprise many, and I know people look at it from a grand scheme of things, and they want to compare us to the other elites, but we have to put into perspective that some of these other teams, like the Miami Heat, for example, the Los Angeles Lakers, although they are not in the East, but there's a lot of these veteran teams that once they are in the playoffs, teams look to rest some of these players. So to me, Tom Thibodeau is going to play every game to win. Whereas you're
Yeah.
going to see some, even the Sixers, you're going to see the Heat with Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry. Like these guys are getting up there. These teams are more interested in just getting to the playoffs and then we figure it out then. Whereas Tom Thibodeau has proven he doesn't think that way. He coaches every single game to
Yeah.
win. So I think we'll be able to steal a few games while other teams are worrying about load management. The only player on this team that we should be worried about load managing is Kemba Walker. And I personally believe that he's going to play a lot if he's healthy. I think Thibodeau will play him more than what people are projecting. I hear a lot of 22 to 24 minutes. I think he's going to get close to 28 to 30 if he's healthy. So that's how I'm looking at it. I'm putting a little perspective to it. And again, you got a strong draft, so we think. Let's see what happened in preseason, and Julius Randle. Another year into this system, and I mean, we keep talking about nobody wants to trade RJ. Everybody loves RJ, and I'm looking at it like this is year 3. Let's go, RJ. Lead us to more wins. So I'm looking at everything, and I'm looking at a step up from that. And to me, that's going to lead to 50 to 51 wins.
Puma, how you feeling, man? What's your record
I'm not gonna
prediction?
lie, I was leaning more towards like 45, 48.
Okay.
But what he just said,
I sold you, Puma.
you sold me for the 50 because yo, man, those Tibbs moments, you know what I'm saying? The defense in them fourth quarters where, teams are just like, let's rest
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
chill. And then next thing you know, we catch that little, those sneaky wins.
Yeah.
So maybe a 50 can come, but I just want to see what we do once it comes to seeding because the East Coast has definitely got a little bit tougher this year, so I
There's
want
gonna
to
be a
see
lot of parity, man.
I don't even want to say record. I want to see where we're seated at. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that's where I want to see. Are we going to be 4th again? Can we go between 4th and 5? Can we go to 3? Are we that good? 3? Can we hit that? I would like to see us hit 3.
See if 3 is attainable. I think that all depends on Philly, right? Because
Yeah.
Milwaukee will be there. If we count everybody's being healthy, we know the Nets will be at the top. We know Milwaukee will be in the mix. I would have to think that Atlanta will be there. Hang on, let me plug my charger in before this whole thing goes south. Give me 1 second here. Got to figure Atlanta will be there, and
Okay. And the Bulls.
I got to figure Miami will be there ahead of Chicago. I just think Miami's a lot deeper. I don't like the Bulls' depth. I don't think they have much bench depth, but their starting 5 is pretty decent. And then there's some sneaky points even in the beginning of this schedule. You have November 23rd versus the Lakers versus Phoenix at Atlanta at Brooklyn. That's a 4-game sketch. That's a 4-game stretch right there. That's tough.
And that could go either way.
That can go either way.
That could go 2-2, 0-4, or maybe 4-0. Either way.
I would love to see it, man. I would definitely love to see it. I'll go. Last year I sold them short, and I went 26 wins in a 72
Optimistic
game
CP.
I'll go optimistic this year, even though, when it comes to the Knicks and the Giants, when you go into the season with no expectations, it turns out better than you thought. But I'll go for the sake of no tomatoes in the chat, JD. You know what I'm saying? We don't want the tomatoes in the chat tonight.
Nope.
Yeah, I'll go with. I think I said 47 last show. 46, 47. I'll go with a
Hmm.
5-game improvement over an 82 game season. I'll go. Yeah, I'll go 47.
Okay.
I'll go 47.
I was leaning towards that
Yeah.
48, but I got sold. He sold me for the 50. I got sold on the
Right.
50, man. I got
And
sold.
if is there any chance, and it goes on with my expectations, if there's any chance for my prediction to come true, it has to be a big part of that has to be the start of the season.
Yeah.
That's a soft part of their schedule. They have to get off strong. Potentially, like you mentioned, go 7-3 or 8-2 for the first 10 and create that separation. And I just think that, when you look at some of the other teams that they're going against, as Puma mentioned, I'm looking at what's going to happen with the Sixers with Ben Simmons. I just believe that when the reports have come out that, he is not answering phone calls and he wants out, like everybody know he wants out, and they still haven't made a deal. It just could be that either Maury, who you and I know is very savvy, is waiting for a Dame Lillard type move, or they're just not going to be able to get the value for him that they expect. And so that is going to be a big reason for the Knicks, because I just think, and knock on wood, I wouldn't want Embiid to get hurt, but he is injury prone. And if he gets hurt, that's an opportunity for the Knicks. You look at that Miami Heat team, they're a little older, so injuries, a lot of these things will play into effect. And I just think that the Knicks, with this draft and the depth and just the coach, the way that he coaches every single game. How many times did we had these debates last year about, the way that he managed minutes,
Yeah.
and maybe now he's going to rest Rose, and maybe now he's going to go to Kevin Knox to give this guy a break, and he never did. He stuck
So
consistent.
he sticks to his rotations.
And CP, why would he change this year?
No,
He has
it's not gonna
more
change.
expectations this year. If anything, he could have handled that last year.
Yeah.
But this year, with the new additions, he has more expectations. So I just think he's going to ramp it up, and he's going to definitely play every game to win. So
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you 100%, man. He's locked
I have a
in.
random
Go ahead, bro.
prediction.
Yeah, bro.
I have a random prediction. I think that Philly will trade Ben Simmons. I think that Andre Drummond signing wasn't for him to play on Philly. I think they're going to package him and Andre Drummond up somewhere. I would not be surprised if it's Sacramento for DeAndre Fox.
For De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox. Okay.
De'Aaron Fox. Yeah, I would not be surprised. Like, it wouldn't surprise me. Like, I feel like Fox wants out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that Fox wants to be there either. And I think everybody's so focused on Dame that they're forgetting about Fox.
True. No, you're right.
Halliburton is there. All these people are there. They have so many point guards in Sacramento. There's no reason for Fox to be there.
And they just drafted Mitchell, and that's why I was kind of confused.
And he had a great summer league.
He had a great summer league. Had a great summer league. So, yeah, I think Sacramento is going to be in play. I think the Dame thing will certainly be in play, because I feel like that's the only logical star-for-star trade where Dame can still compete.
It's got to be Ben. It's got to be Ben Simmons and Andre Drummond, because Ben Simmons for Dame is not equal.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean just like as a framework for the package.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As a framework, because I just feel like of all the teams that would be in contention, Golden State already said they're not going to blow it up for Dame to bring him home.
Yeah.
So I just feel like Philly is a realistic option, but they did say Sacramento was an option as well.
And I really want to see what Klay Thompson comes back as. That's like that's one of the big. Besides the Knicks, I really want to see what Klay Thompson comes back as.
Yeah,
that's like one of my things for this league, like this season. I want to see what happens with Klay Thompson.
One of my favorite non-Knicks is Klay.
Yeah,
Dame is number
like
one.
If he comes back to that 38 in one quarter, Klay. Yeah, I think the NBA got a problem.
Yeah, Clay's my guy, man, 100%. So I think they're saying he could. They're looking to bring him back by Christmas. So we'll see how that goes down. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. CP, JD Sports Talk in here, and Puma in the building. Black Ink crew of VH1 season 9 going strong. So everybody hit that thumbs up button, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We are in here heavy. All right, let's go to the phone, see what the people got to say tonight. Let's go to D from North Carolina. D, how you feeling?
Doing good. What's good, CP? What's good, JD?
Good. How you feeling, bro?
Doing good. I feel like with our record, I think we have, like you said, with the injuries, it's gonna that comes into play. But I also feel another thing that's gonna come into play for our benefit is all the teams that have new coaches. So, that's they're gonna have to learn the coaches, and that might affect the games that we were able to pick up because of that. So, you have Indiana, you got Orlando, you got Boston. They all have new coaches in the East. So that'll help us. And as far as the televised games, Adam Silver was just as happy as we were that the Knicks are relevant again because that's money for them.
Oh, of course.
New York is the third most populated state with only one basketball team because the Nets don't count. So...
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. Appreciate the call, D, and be safe out there. I think all of the Knicks-Nets games are national TV. I believe all the Knicks-Nets games are national TV. You got both Knicks and Lakers games on national TV, so we back, man.
You see that energy in Madison Square Garden, man, like... It's nothing like MSG.
Nothing like it, bro.
Nothing like it, man. You can't beat it.
Yeah, absolutely. Puma, did you make it to the Hawks series? Game 1 or 2?
I went to every game, even in Atlanta, except game 4. That's the only one I didn't go.
I went to 3 and 4. I didn't go to 5. By the time I got to 5,
I went to 5.
Yeah, I was burnt. I was burnt, bro. I couldn't get there. Yeah.
No, I didn't go to game 3 in Atlanta. I went to game 4 in Atlanta and then game 5. Yeah, then I got hurt.
One CP knew
that was a rough night in New York City, man. Shout out to Lee, the cops making sure we were all right. Yeah. It was a bad night out there.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
It was pandemonium, man. It was pandemonium, bro.
One CP knew who was the better team. He was like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, yo.
But you know what was really cool is when I went to Atlanta to see how many Knicks fans were in Atlanta.
Yeah,
I felt like I saw more Knicks fans than I saw Hawk fans legit out there, bro. There was like really a lot of Knicks fans in Atlanta. It was really cool.
Yo, 100%, man. 100%. We were out there heavy, man. And it was just
I couldn't get into your party. The line was so stupid.
Yo, it was thick.
The line for your party was crazy.
I had it jumping in the A, man.
Yeah, you had it jumping. I'm not gonna even lie. The line was retarded. It was going around the block. It was crazy.
Yo, it was crazy, man. It was crazy. Wow. So we'll have to do.
I saw it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do another road trip, man. Right now, I got my eyes on Miami, March 25th. That's a Friday. So that's what I'm looking at, Puma. We might have to go out there and
holler at your boy, boy. You know, I'm always down. Yeah, I'm down for the get down.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go out there and turn up, JD, man. We'll turn it into a weekend. Do a little CP Palooza. Hopefully, we kick it off with a win on the Friday, and then turn up in 305.
And turn it up. Yeah, let's do it. I'm down for that.
Yes. So we'll definitely look into a couple road games for sure.
Another thing I wanted to point out about the national TV game is, a lot of the theme last year was about the culture. And on the national media scale, a lot of people were talking about, are the Knicks now a destination for other stars, whether it's a disgruntled star or a player that's going to be up in a few years, like a Zion or whoever you want to mention. And them being in a national stage as many times as they're going to be, next season, this is also an opportunity for the organization to get some wins on national TV, to perform well, to have another good season and build on this season and become, and actually stamp that, where now we're on national TV and now there's no disputing anything. We have something good going, and it's not going to be no more Knicks for clicks. It's actually going to be a situation now where we have leverage and we decide what player we want to pursue instead of begging or praying for certain players to become available. So that's another opportunity for this organization, this front office, and this staff to build on this season and continue to show the world that this is something that's, in the upscale.
It's real deal, man.
Big shout out to Leon Rose, man. He's
Yes,
been
sir.
working, baby. World Wide West, Leon Rose.
Yes,
I
sir.
appreciate y'all, man.
Absolutely,
They've been doing
man.
it, baby. They've been doing it.
Another thing, real quick for the people in the chat before I forget. We got 15 minutes left before the RJ 40K giveaway list is closed. So just want to remind people, we are giving away, and Puma, if you want to sign up too, man, go ahead and sign up. We are giving away an autographed RJ Barrett basketball, signed authentic, and we got the authentication certificate. This is authentic, real deal. No Fulton Street knockoff, no Jamaica Avenue foolery. This is a real deal. This is celebrating 40,000 subscribers on YouTube, and the list is closing at 9 p.m. people. So go to KnicksFanTV.com and sign up. And because we're gonna announce the winner at about 9:10 p.m. Eastern time. All right, we're gonna announce the winner of the autographed RJ Barrett basketball at about 9:10. So make sure you guys sign up if you haven't already. All right, we got HP Carlos in the chat all the way from Portugal. Puma is hailing up Black Ink in the chat. So salute to my guy HP Carlos. He's been here every show, no matter what time.
Carlos.
Yeah,
what up,
salute
Carlos?
to HP Carlos. Also, my guy Lloyd Barker Rock Jr. checking in from the West Coast. He says 52 wins. He said the Knicks are a much improved team from last season. Stop selling us short. Stop believing the ESPN hype. The Knicks are back.
Right.
So Lloyd's going 52. Okay, all right. I don't know. I don't know, Lloyd. It's not the Kellerman in me, man. Trust me, man. I said 47. I said 46, 47. So
I mean, I'm thinking about like this. This is like my whole thought process of what I've thought about it, right? Kemba Walker, Peyton. Kemba's a little bit, as long as he plays defense. Reggie Bullock, Evan Fournier. Fournier's a much better player.
Yeah.
So we've improved our roster. We definitely drafted great. We should get at least 50. It's 82 games. We should hit 50. We should.
I think
you see the expectations?
Expectations, baby. Expectations to the roof right now, man. I'm telling you, you make that 4 seed is real.
IQ in Summer League, man. Come on. IQ in Summer League. Him and Toppin, they were giving me everybody saw the rookies, but IQ and Toppin, they were giving me. I'm believing in our bench. I feel like our bench is going to win us a lot of games. Yeah, I'm feeling good. 50.
Yeah,
I'm going with the 50.
I'm with you 100%, bro. I think the bench was our strength last year. I thought it was one of the best benches in the league, especially once Rose got there. And now you're having a second year with Rose, IQ, Burks. I love that 3-headed guard monster. Now you factor in OB year 2. And then you're going to go, hopefully you have a healthy Mitch that gives you Noel for rim protection, or you put Taj in for extra offense. I like it, man.
I like the Sims kid. Sims kid. He's high flying.
I like Sims too, but Sims is gonna be on a two-way. So I think the big man rotation is kind of locked up right now, where I only see Sims really getting in, during injury. Someone that gets COVID or somebody goes down, because I think Taj is gonna be your third string backup. Noel will be second, and then hopefully Mitch year 4 has something to say, man. Mitch already put it out there on Twitter. He's trying to get Defensive Player of the Year. So, expectations, as you said, JD, I'm hoping for a big year from the Block Nest Monster, man, because we need him. Definitely need him.
Yeah. You see a lot of his campaigning already on Twitter. He's had more than a few tweets alluding, the first one was when he was giving credit to the coaching staff working with him. And then the follow-up was about, aiming for Defensive Player of the Year. He also had another tweet a day or two ago. There was a thread about that was the tweet, and there was another one. So he's more active now. I think he realizes what that indicates to me is that he's realizing that this is it. This is a big moment for him. It's a contract year for him personally, but also for the team. He's here. He understands that the Knicks fans it's a very knowledgeable fan base. And putting aside his contract year, just evaluating him individually, he needs to step it up for Knicks fans this season because there's been a lot of ups and downs.
Put a little weight on.
He's a lot stronger. So I'm excited to see him, as he is a lot stronger, I'm excited to see some of these one-on-one matchups with Joel Embiid, with a Turner or Sabonis with the Pacers. Some of these other elite big men. He's going to get that assignment. So I'm excited to see how he responds to that. And when you looked at the contract that Robert Williams from the Boston Celtics got, $54 million, I'm sure he was smiling. And we'll see what happens. But at the end of the day, if he plays well, we'll see what happens. And I'm looking forward to him making the Knicks think about re-signing him. Make it a tough decision. It's a good problem to have.
I'm glad that we signed Noel back too, because Noel definitely put in work when he was down, while Mitchell Robinson was down. Noel, he came through for us many, many times. I can definitely give him that.
Yeah, Noel definitely held it down for us. And then once the official contract numbers came out, I thought they were all good. When it was first announced, I was like, man, Noel kind of overpaid. But when you figure that they have full team options on the third year of everybody's deal, they have a full team option on the fourth year of Fournier's deal. And Kemba, they didn't do it. The Kemba, they just gave him 2 years straight, but it's still a cheap enough deal. I just felt like overall their approach to free agency was, okay, run it back, have stability, have continuity, but also don't handcuff ourselves as it pertains to making future moves. They still kept it flexible, and they still kept it competitive. And so I like what they did there in the offseason for sure.
Sure.
We
did good. We did good.
Yep. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. I want to shout out Weasel the Misfit for the super chat. He says, CP, keep Phoenix on your radar for the road games. Knicks out here in March, my B-Day weekend. Shout out my guy Weasel. Yeah, I heard. I know Puma. I don't know if you partied out in Phoenix or you've been out in Phoenix before.
I just did. Actually, recently it was hotter than a mug, but I had a good time. It was hot. Oh, baby, it was hot out there. Though.
I could imagine, man. Valley of the Sun. But yeah, I heard Phoenix turns up. I don't know if it's Scottsdale or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, Scottsdale. That's where it's at. Scottsdale. I went there. Yes. Yeah. Turn up.
Okay. All right. So Weasel will we might have to make that happen. My guy Eric Booker says home opener October 20th, week of my birthday. Let's go. And he says 51-31. So Eric Booker is on the 51 train. He says 51-31 and a top 4 seed finish in the East. All right, so shout out my guy Eric Booker, man. Shout out my guy Eric Booker. All right, let's go back to the phones. We go. Angel from Philly. Angel, how you feeling, bro?
Yo, what's good? CP,
how you
JD,
feeling,
Puma, what's good, fellas?
What's good, bro?
I'm good. My birthday on Thursday, man. I'm getting excited. I feel great. Everybody be careful out there. That virus is still out there.
Yeah, 100%.
And first thing first, man, hit that thumbs up for y'all boys, man.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, listen, JD, I think I was the one that told you, if you're gonna go to 49 wins, man, you gotta go to 50, man. And I think
you were the guy. You were the one.
To get over 50 wins.
Yep.
But
credit to you,
hey,
bro.
listen, guys. When you look at this team, the reason why I say we're gonna get 50 wins is because of this, right? Now that we showed everybody that we brought back not only the same team, but it ain't gonna be an easy game where you come to New York and you just think that you're gonna get an easy win. You're gonna have to earn it, right? So when you look at the schedule, we got Orlando 3 times in the first 15 games. You gotta beat them all 3 times. Yeah. You got Cleveland twice. Early in the first 20 games. You got to beat Cleveland. You got to beat teams that you're supposed to beat. Obviously, with just having Kemba Walker, we're not going to be having, all these games where we're down double digits and then the bench brings us back into the game, So I think with having Kemba Walker, it just changes everything. Even if it's just, him playing 50, 60, 70 games, it's just going to change our team completely. And I think we're a lot deeper this year than we were last year. We drafted really well. I don't think anybody expected the Knicks to draft really well, but they did. Mm-hmm. And I'm comfortable in saying that if Kemba, gets hurt or Derrick Rose has to sit out for a couple games, you could play these young guys, man. They're hungry. They want it. And that's what we want. We got to play hard. And obviously you're not going to win every game, but this is New York, man. This is our city. I don't care what anyone says. Rest in peace, Max Kellerman, because we know you're done on ESPN First Take. But listen, man, I just feel good about this team. And, obviously, It's just one day at a time. I think Obi's going to be great also.
Yeah.
And, you just, with the team that we have, bro, I just, I don't see us winning no less than 47 games, but I just think we're getting 50 because we're way better last year. Because even if you look at Chicago or Charlotte, we're better than these teams. They might have the better point guards, but we're better than these teams overall. And a lot of these teams that got, had a big free agency, they haven't had a full season to play together yet. But we have that continuity, and who plays defense like the Knicks? Nobody. That's just how I feel. But, as always, fellas, thanks for taking my call, guys. I appreciate it. And CP, man, big shout out to you for getting Evan Fournier, on the show as well. So definitely gotta give you some love. And y'all have a good night, y'all. Peace.
You too, man. Peace, Angel.
Happy
Peace,
birthday,
peace.
too.
Yeah, happy birthday in advance, man. Shout out to Angel, everybody in the chat. Hail up Angel for his birthday. Calls in here every day. Big time fan of the show, Puma. Never misses a show.
Word.
So shout out to Angel for sure, man.
Yeah, he had some good points, too, man.
Yeah.
I felt them.
Yeah.
Word.
Absolutely. Marky B in the chat. Yes, this is live. We are live. What's going on? So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for your boys. CPJD Puma here in the building, talking about this Knicks schedule. Couple other random notes, news and notes. A couple other signings to the roster that the Knicks made official. They signed Amir Sims off the Summer League team. So Amir Sims will he gets a Exhibit 10 contract. And what the Exhibit 10 contract essentially means is that if he doesn't make the team out of training camp, it basically guarantees him a spot on the G League team, and he'll make a league minimum. I forgot what that number was, but I think ultimately his final destination will be with Westchester. They also signed MJ Walker, JD, who played a little bit in Summer League, played more than Sims and played fairly well, especially on the defensive end. MJ Walker out of Florida State, he'll get a deal, and I believe it'll be the similar Exhibit 10, and he'll end up in Westchester as well. And then Dwayne Bacon's contract was announced. Dwayne Bacon's is a non-guaranteed contract, so we were wondering what the case was going to be with him, whether it was going to be guaranteed and that they were going to make additional roster moves. But Bacon's contract is non-guaranteed, so it's a training camp invite basically, and we'll see where it goes. So I think he'll be on a long stretch, on a long haul to make the team, to the point where they'll have to, forced to make any cuts. But ultimately,
probably another Kid Gilchrist type thing where you signed him and people thought one thing because of the Kentucky thing, and then it was just an invite.
Yeah, just an invite. So we'll see there. But they're able to bring 20 players in total to training camp, and training camp starts September 28th. So we're almost a month away, fellas, before we kick this thing right back up. Almost a month away, man. So that'll be interesting. Puma, your thoughts on just the way the offseason went, man, between the draft picks, free agency, getting Kemba, getting Fournier, keeping some of the guys, Rose, Burks, Noel. How'd you feel about it as a Knicks fan? How'd you feel how the offseason went?
I mean, you saw all the big signings, and, of course, as a Knicks fan, we sit back and we wait. I was a little on the fence with the Evan Fournier, and then I watched Olympic basketball. And I'm not gonna lie, he gave me a lot more confidence. His Boston, when he got to Boston, it was horrible. But then I also remember he had COVID.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
That that definitely throws you off fatigue wise and everything. But then watching him in USA basketball with France, he was killing it. Playing great defense, a good hustle. So it gave me a lot of confidence for him coming into the season. Kemba has to play defense. That's what I'm mainly hoping with Kemba. I know once MSG lights come on, he's going to do what he does offensively. Defensively, I'm worried, but I like the signing. I love it, honestly. Brought my boy from the Bronx back. I like our drafting. I like the way we were looking in Summer League. I'm feeling very confident in Obi Toppin. I think that Obi is going to surprise everybody in year 2. I think he may make a bigger jump than RJD. Yeah, and I'm saying it now. I think Obi is going to do something that we're going to be very surprised. I think that he's going to come through this year. I have a feeling. I know he has to wait behind Julius Randle, but I feel like he's going to really help the bench a lot, and it's going to be really surprising.
Yeah, I think he
Obi
will.
Toppin. You remember me saying it?
I think he will. I think Obi will take a step. The summer league, all first team all summer league. Shout out to Obi.
Yeah.
And like I said, during summer league, it was just good to see him get out there, get his confidence back. Show off an arsenal of moves. Whether it was back to the basket, you saw him being effective in the post. You saw him in the face-up game attacking. You saw the 3-ball was a lot better, a lot more accurate, especially in the summer league. So it's just good to see him carry that forward into training camp.
But I do have one question though. Like, all right, so if RJ does not, improve, what do we do? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we're kind of holding on to him for, the Zion thing, but what do we do? You know what I'm saying? Like, I love you, RJ. Like, I love you, but there's got to be just another, when you see these Ja Morants and these Lukas and everybody, and they're making that other jump, we're waiting for it. And we want to know what happens. And if he doesn't, then what do we do?
I mean, look, I think in 2 years, we've seen a big jump from the rookie year to sophomore year. We saw a jump in his three-point shooting, obviously was off the charts, and his free throw shooting as well. He's just got to continue to work on his game. He just has to continue to work on his game. The one thing for sure is that he's a workhorse. And, look, 17 points per game. What was he at? 17 and 6, 17 and 7. He's a plus defender. I think he brings a lot to this team as a role player right now. Yes, we want him to take that next level, right? We want him to get to that star, borderline, all-star level. And I think there's still room to grow, right? I mean, he's only 20, right? 20 years old, if I'm not mistaken, or 21. So I think 21. So I think RJ still has time. You just hope that he doesn't take any type of regression. Like, does the shooting numbers come back a little bit this year? Maybe, but I just want to see, most importantly, I want to see how does his game evolve. Like, can he shoot off the dribble a little bit? That was the one area of his game that was quite deficient. Can he finish a bit better at the rim? We know how strong he is. We know he can get to the rim at will. Can he finish better? Can he finish with a bit more touch in the mid-range? Those are the things I'm really going to be looking for out of RJ to see if he adds those to the arsenal, then he can go from 17 to say 21.
22.
Now we're talking. And he
talking.
keeps that 75% at the free throw line. Now we're talking. We're getting there. So I think he could get it, man. I'm confident. I'm optimistic about RJ year 3. I know JD is as well, man.
Yeah, I'm optimistic. What I'm looking at is, I know a lot of fans are, it just depends on how you project what year 3 is going to mean. Like, how are we going to evaluate the quote unquote jump? Like, what does that mean? Does that mean if he goes, from 17 to 21, that's the jump? What if he stays at 17 and, like you mentioned, his percentages dip a little bit because he shot 40% from 3? That's like what the Kyle Korvers and like these other guys that get a lot of praise, like that's the percentage that these guys shoot. I know he only shot 4 attempts as compared to some of these other, but RJ was a guy that, shot 32% from 3 his rookie year. A lot of people thought it would take him more than year 2 to make those improvements from an efficiency standpoint. So he's already there. We're hoping that he can, build off that. But what if he stays around 17, but he gets better defensively? Like, what if he's taking these defensive assignments? We don't have Reggie Bullock anymore.
That's right.
And we didn't add Trey Murphy. So who is our wing defender? That's going to be RJ. So what if with Kemba here and Randall here, right, you have more scoring.
And Fournier. You can't forget that. I think those guys may take away touches from him again this year.
Right. So when you start to really break it down, you got, you can make a case that RJ's the 4th option.
Yeah.
Because you're going to go what? Randall, Kemba, Fournier is going to shoot them threes.
He's going to shoot and handle.
Yeah. And then once Tibbs goes to the bench, quickly got the green light. Yeah. And then Rose.
Right.
Rose is going to be aggressive. So to me, the way that I'm projecting his jump is defensively, is him maintaining his shooting efficiency, and also him showing that he can finish games. He had a great season last year, but you remember, CP, there were moments in the season where Thibodeau didn't go to him in the fourth.
He didn't
and
trust
you
his
were on
shooting.
your post-game show,
Yeah.
we were wondering what was going on. So if he can do that, if he can prove that he can finish games, he can elevate defensively, and he can continue to hit the open shot, to me, that's a great season. Yes, I want him to be a superstar and I want him to be all that, but I'm just also looking at the other options that the team has right now. And I don't know that he's going to jump a Kemba and be the number 2 option on this team. If Kemba's healthy, Kemba is
He's
more
going to dominate.
of a
He's going to dominate the ball. He's going to dominate the ball.
Kemba,
Yeah.
this is his homecoming.
Yeah,
So
100%.
Kemba, and here the last point I want to make is, again, with the national televised schedule, the Knicks have an opportunity here to potentially get 2 All-Stars in the All-Star game, because we're going to be on national TV more. So let's say a Kemba or, even RJ, if he elevates, or Fournier, like there's going to be an opportunity for someone in addition to Randall, if we're winning and if we're playing well on the national on these national TV games, for another Knick to potentially make the All-Star. I mean, hey, if I'm projecting 50 wins, that means that somebody else after Randall will be playing at an All-Star level.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm tempering a little bit of expectation. I'm just putting perspective in what that quote-unquote jump means. And for me, that's what it means.
True indeed. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Climbing up to 1,000 in the chat. CP, JD, the Sports Talk in here, and Puma in here. Black Ink Crew, salute. If you guys are new in the chat, type in hashtag new in the chat, and we'll shout you guys out. Just wrapping on the season schedule, and yeah, man, just getting it in. Let's go to the West Coast here for my guy Abdul in the building. Abdul, how you feeling, man?
Yo, feeling good, my brother. Hope you guys can hear me, man. First and foremost, major shout out to every single last one of you guys. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up for the squad. I do have a few points, man. I had to sneak into the office. The kids outside wanted me to play kickball, but I'm listening to KnicksFanTV. That's first and foremost. So first couple of points I have, man. I'm fired up, man. Super excited to have Kemba back, right? So we already know what Kemba is. I'm just excited for him just to step into that guarding role and really just be the guard that he's always been throughout the season. I think that's going to be a big step for us moving forward. We know his defense is not going to be 100% top-notch, but we have to be grateful that we have more excitement coming into the guarding, right? So that's one. Me, for RJ, I'm excited to see his jump, right, just coming off the board scoring. I want to see him do more of that this season, right, because now we have an additional guards who can deliver the ball to him. But let's just see where he's going to be as far as moving around the court,
right,
finishing that jump shot, right, continuing on that three-point shot that he had. When it comes to Obi, just playing with the confidence that he had in the summer league, but then also coming off of the playoffs last season, right? He's only going to probably get so much minutes, but I definitely would love to see his defense improve a little bit more. I think Tibbs will trust in him a little bit more if that defense can get together. Quickly, just being efficient, right? We know what it is, coming off the bench, just have smart shot selections. We talked about that pull-up jump shot and not always reverting back to the pull-up, right, that little floater. If he can get that jump shot like majority of the guards in the league, that will take his game to another level, but then also have more of an offensive threat when passing it to other people on the team. Mitch, I'm excited for Mitch. Been watching him on Twitter. And he's putting on weight, which is tremendous, right? But that weight's not going to mean nothing if you're not healthy for us.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a big factor for us, Mitch being healthy, right? That's going to be a lot of trouble. Our defense, we're just going to have to continue to improve on that. And then last one, CP, I've been looking for it, but any word on Quentin Grimes? Like, did he get signed? Did we give him a contract? Or how does that work? Like, any word on him?
I haven't seen anything official on Grimes. I know McBride signed his deal, but Grimes should be fine. He should be signed up and ready to go before camp starts. There's normally not an issue with the first round picks, so that should be that should be locked away fairly soon.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I was worried about it. I was looking around like I know he kind of picked it up towards the end. Yeah. So I'm a huge fan of him, man.
Me too.
You can tell what he's going to be for us, and but I'm guessing. The more they wait, the more he gets to prove that he's going to earn that. But, yeah, man, I appreciate you guys once again, man, always holding it down for us on the West Coast, just being able to have this family, right, that we have online. And I heard somebody say something about the Phoenix game, so I already circled a few games. I'm here in California, so Phoenix is a little bit closer. So I'll be out there representing. I'll have my Knicks fan TV hat on, going hard.
Let's go. Let's
You
go.
guys appreciate it.
Abdul, appreciate you, man. Checking in from San Diego. Appreciate that. Yeah, Puma, what'd you think about McBride and Grimes, man? Did you get a chance to catch Summer League?
Yeah, of course. I was on it.
Let's go.
McBride, man. McBride surprised me, man. Even like I wasn't expecting that much of like that energy. You know what I mean? The bunnies. He got some hops too.
Yeah,
he got some bunnies on him. You know what I'm saying? Like I was surprised. And then Grimes shooting. Grimes is a sharpshooter, real low key. You know what I mean? We got somebody that got that shot, man. He was definitely coming off with them threes in the summer league. So I like it, man. I like what we got, man. I feel really confident about what we're doing, man. Like I said, Leon Rose, Worldwide West, shout them out, man. We got to give them much more love than we have been. Because they have, man, I've been through some horrible Knick drafts, man.
Yeah,
horrible.
That's a fact. The PTSD is real, right? Good. The PTSD is real, man.
Oh, so real. So real. You know what I'm saying? So it's good. It feels good, man.
Yeah, you know, the thing with them, and even though it's just only summer league, the kids just seem like they're just very cerebral, you know, just very much in tune with what's going on, the speed of the game, just playing very much within themselves, not trying to force things, not trying to create highlight reels, just, you know, playing within their game, the game that they know how, and playing to their strengths. And you know, again, it starts with defense. Both of them tenacious defenders, at least from what they showed
especially
on paper.
McBride.
Especially McBride.
McBride was playing that defense, boy. Especially McBride.
McBride.
I really like McBride.
Yeah, absolutely. And then with Grimes, man, the 3-point shooting he just went crazy last 3 games. He just went absolutely bananas with the 3-point shooting, and so you know, that was very encouraging. And then McBride started flashing the 3-ball quite heavily last couple of games as well. So it's very encouraged, man. Very encouraged by our rookies and
IQ's leadership also, man. Yeah. Like, you know, like IQ was the leader of that summer league team. You know what I'm saying? And you've seen it, and he held on to it. And then also seeing Tibbs and IQ's relationship after the game. Right. Each game you saw Tibbs run up on
first
IQ
thing.
Just talk. First thing, and just talk his head off. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, IQ is going to be special, man. It's going to be good.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Looking forward to seeing those kids,
preseason's going to be fun, CP. It's going to be fun because the depth of this team, you know, every preseason game is going to be something to look forward to. And one of the things about these 2 young players is that, you know, they connect with the coach, you know, in terms of what their strengths are. Gritty, defenders, energy, intelligent, high IQ players. And when you look at a coach like Tom Thibodeau, as you know, we all know in a long 82-game season, there's going to be moments where, you know, whether it's a back-to-back or whether it's that West Coast trip that we talked about, whether it's an injury, you know, Tibbs is going to look down the bench. He's going to see 2 rookies that he is not going to be afraid to throw out there. Whereas last season, he's looking down the bench and he's looking at Kevin Knox. He didn't have trust in him. He's looking at Frank. He didn't have trust in him. You know, and these guys are rookies, and I think he will grow to have more trust in them. Now, these rookies do have to now build on this summer league and duplicate that in the preseason because this is a phases thing. You know, it's a football term where you talk about mini camp, training camp, preseason. We got summer league. Now we have, you know, training camp and preseason. They're going to have to duplicate this, and if they do, then that's going to validate their summer, and they're going to make some noise for minutes.
Yeah, true story. I mean, and even before preseason is going to start in training camp and practice. You know, I think that's what kept Frank back. Just not showing and, you know, proving to be effective in practice. I think Kevin Knox, same way.
What happened with Frank? Is Frank just going out the league? Did anybody pick him up?
He right now is a free agent, man. So ain't nobody really knocking down Frank's door right now. We
still have Knox on our roster, correct?
Kevin's still there. I think the Kentucky connection will keep Kev alive. Will he get playing time? I think it'll only be injury, unfortunately. I don't see Kev's game taking a jump where Tibbs is like, all right, I'm going to play him over.
Like, he kept having flashes. Like, he would have flashes.
Always.
And then
disappear. Yeah.
Disappear.
Kev's my guy, man. I refuse to give up on him,
I want to see Kev win, but...
Yeah. I want to see Kev win, but I don't think it's gonna be here. But you never know. It could be a similar situation with Frank, where there's no market for him, and then they end up having him going to unrestricted free agency and bringing him back. So you just never know.
You never know.
Let's shout out some people in the chat. Shout out my guy Johnny Wynn. He's team hashtag new Johnny Wynn. What's going on? Who else we got in here? Thomas Jenkins Jr., Alan C., team hashtag new. Welcome to the show. We got CPJD and Puma in the building talking Knicks schedule and just overall offseason and expectations. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Hit that subscribe button. We're going to announce the RJ winner shortly. Let's take another call. Let's go down to San Antonio. Let's go to the Alamo. Chris, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing?
What's good, Chris? How you been, bro?
Man, I'm hanging out. I'm excited for the season. Yeah. You guys are talking about 50 wins, and I'm right there with you. Like, I guess there's only up to go, so we can't look down anymore. But I was interested in, I guess it's like a two-part question. You guys kind of touched on it. Mm-hmm. I like to focus on the young guys when I call in, right? So I'm thinking, kind of like JD said, the only jump to be made is on defense in my mind. Like, we replace, I guess, we replaced Peyton, and we replaced, Austin Rivers, really. We replaced Dennis Smith. We replaced a lot of guys who we didn't need, obviously, and we replaced them with a lot more talent. But I guess possibly we fell off a little bit in our defense, besides the fact we have a defensive coach and we have those bigs. But I'm wondering, outside of Randall, who I think is like extremely underrated on defense on the perimeter and in the post, and the other bigs that we have, who's the perimeter guy that we're going to now? Because JD mentioned RJ, and I think that has to be true. But yeah, right. But it has to be RJ. And then so I'm thinking that for Obi not to get 40 minutes, Randall not to get 44 minutes a game, Obi has to step up a lot on defense as well, right? So I'm wondering between, I guess I see how the draft panned out now, where they picked Grimes and McBride, because those guys are gonna provide constant defensive energy and practices and stuff to make sure that our guards can't slack off on defense at all or offense. So I'm also wondering, between those young guys, McBride, Grimes, Obi, and RJ, who you think is going to make the biggest defensive leap? You said RJ, but outside of them, we have Kevin Knox, who you guys also just mentioned. Yeah. And if he's not going to get on the court for defense, like I guess he said he has some flashes. We know he can do some things with the ball, but if he's not going to be 6'9" on defense, then why not just, replace him with Frank? Because if we know anything about Frank, whether or not he makes the corner three or turns the ball over, he's going to play some defense. So can we not just switch him out? I would be more comfortable with him playing.
I think the thing is that, with Kev, they're looking for his offense first and foremost. And I also feel like with Kev, the relationship is there. They don't have that relationship with Frank that they have with Kev. Nobody from this regime drafted Frank. They weren't here when Frank got drafted. At least with Kev, Perry was here, and then, the Kentucky connection, they have that. So I think maybe Kev will get a little bit more leeway than what Frank would give you. And then as far as, from the defense, I think RJ naturally, out of RJ, McBride, and Grimes, I think it'd be RJ just because he's going to get the minutes. I think Kemba's role, the guards at the point of attack, they're going to be very important. But I think when you factor in our bigs, that's where what's going to set us apart from other teams is that our bigs will be able to kind of shield the weaknesses of our guards, especially Mitch. When you talk about the way that Mitch is able to defend on the perimeter, deterrent shots, slowing down pick and roll offenses, providing rim protection, I think that'll provide us a little bit of cover from our guards, and they're, especially Kemba, and his defensive weaknesses, Fournier a little bit here and there as well. I think Mitch's presence in the lineup is going to be vital.
I feel like Fournier's an underrated defender. I think Fournier has good defense. I think that we're going to be surprised by Fournier's defense.
I hope so. I definitely hope so. And the thing is that no one knew this team was going to be able to play defense the way they did last year, even with the pieces that they had. So even though you may think that they would take a step back, given that they lost Bullock and Peyton, maybe not. We'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see what happens there. JD, go ahead and jump in.
No, yeah, and there were moments last season, Mitch got hurt, and, we thought there was going to be a slip.
Right.
And, Thibodeau found a way to maintain that defensive intensity. And I think also, signing Fournier and Kemba as opposed to losing Peyton and Bullock defensively. Yeah, you sort of take a hit defensively, but I think it also speaks to Tip's confidence in his format in terms of needing to have 48 minutes of rim protection between Noel and Mitch, and him believing that his system, can sort of hide some of the deficiencies in the perimeter. And as you mentioned, having that rim protection will help alleviate some of that. And then hopefully RJ takes that step because, last season with Peyton being 6'4" and Bullock, Tibbs was able to kind of, manage matchups in terms of, okay, I'm going to put Peyton on this guard and then Bullock on this wing or this guard. Whereas when you look at really the starting lineup or projected starting lineup, it looks to me that Kemba's going to have to guard that point guard. And Fournier is going to have to, guard one of these twos or whatever. So like RJ is the guy that's going to be left on an island with, some of these top players. Tibbs doesn't have those kind of, creative weapons this year, but he will have the rim protection to kind of help out. So, I think Fournier gives you a lot of effort. He's averaged a full steal over the last few seasons. And I know people may look at it like, oh, that's a steal, but a steal is a good indicator of effort. And it doesn't necessarily mean that he's a great defender because the steal category doesn't indicate that, but it does, indicate effort. And so he'll give you that. And I'm just hoping that, with them being motivated and the spotlight, the whole New York thing, and then Thibodeau demanding that, a lot of coaches demand that, but somehow Thibodeau demands it and gets it, and he actually gets you to play some of it. It doesn't mean that, Kemba's going to be an elite defender or Fournier is going to be an elite defender. But I think at the very least, he'll have them paying attention. He'll have them try to stay, stick to their assignments.
True indeed. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. The call-in number, for those of you asking, 657-383-1509. CPJD and Puma, Black Ink Crew's finest in the building. Let's get those likes up. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. We're going to take a couple more calls and then wrap up. Let's go to Jersey. Val, what's going on?
Earlier, you guys proved some points, and I wanted to just touch on them about RJ. See, RJ would be able to take that leap like Ja Morant and Luka, but the difference with those guys and RJ, those guys dominate the ball on their team. RJ, we don't even know if he's the second or third option on this team. And I feel like, I'm going to say this, it's going to be controversial, but I feel like everything we get from Randall, we can get from RJ. And RJ can actually play off the ball. RJ can rebound like Randall. RJ's left-handed like Randall. He's 2 inches shorter. It's essentially a weird kind of same player. So if we prioritize RJ the way those Ja Morant, Luka, and Zion's teams did, I do think RJ can be a 24 and 8 and 7 type of guy. And I just want to hear your opinion about it. I love what you're doing with the show, and the Evan Fournier interview was amazing.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Val. I think, when you're comparing RJ to Julius, I think you're selling Julius a little bit short in terms of his shot creation that he had this past season. He was on an offensive bag that he was an all-star because of it. You know what I'm saying? And I think RJ needs to work on that part of his game. Right now, RJ's strengths are on a catch-and-shoot three and, bully ball into the basket and getting those rim attempts. His in-between game, his intermediate game is just not there. And that's where Julius Randle was top-notch for the Knicks because his shot creation off the pull-ups, off the dribble, was there. I think do I have this number here? Hold on. Pull-up jump shots, RJ was effective field goal percentage 34% on 2.7 attempts. I don't think I have Randall's in front of me, but conversely, you brought in Fournier, who has a 53.4% effective field goal percentage on 5 attempts. Kemba, 47% on 8 attempts. Derrick Rose, 50% on 5 attempts. Alec Burks, 53.5% on 4 attempts. RJ's that's the part of his game that he's working on. Admittedly so. This is what Drew Hanlon said that they're working on. I don't have Julius's number, but just from the eye test, Julius was just way better offensively. And that's not a knock on Arthur. That's just the reality. That's just the reality, fellas.
I understood what he was trying to say, but same time, it's like, nah, Julius Randle, he put in that work, you know what I'm saying? And definitely, like you said, shot creating, you know what I mean? RJ, we're hoping year 3. Come on now. Year 3, RJ, this is what we need to see, man. More shot creation, you know what I mean? A little bit more aggressive to the basket. Converting and finishing at the basket. Oh, my God, I hate missed layups. If there's one thing I hate on the play there, it's missed layups. And RJ had one too many for me.
And that's going to be one of the interesting training camp. And I guess, well, I mean, even if it's a training camp storyline or headline, I guess you won't actually know till the first few games is, how does this coach and the coaching staff look at RJ for year 3? How, with Kemba coming in, what is, Tibbs has a lot of weapons now, you can say, right? Where these players need touches. Fournier, Kemba, Randall. You have a lot of scoring options here. How does Tibbs use, the new additions and then also paying attention to RJ's development, give him that opportunity? I want to just see how involved RJ is into the system in year 3, but also with these new acquisitions around him. So,
and also, there's one thing we haven't said, but we have to say it. We need Julius Randle to trust everybody too. Because if Julius Randle is not trusting them, he's not going to pass them the ball, and then that's all hell's breaking loose. Then, you know what I'm saying? He becomes the black hole. So he has to start trusting everybody. You know what I'm saying? It took him a little while to trust RJ. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like, all right, can you trust Kemba? Can you trust Evan? Will you pass them the ball? Yeah. That's the other thing, you know?
True. Julius, year 1 with RJ, there was nothing there. Year 2, the chemistry was on point.
Nothing there. You saw many moments where he would look at him and literally just like, forget it.
Go to Peyton. Go to Peyton of all people.
And that's why, and that's why I was saying, CP, with the expectations. There's expectations with the fan base. But also remember, when the season starts, all the fans, their mindset is going to switch. And at the end of the day, a lot of us fans remember this playoff series, right? In terms of the way that they finish some of these lopsided games, some of the criticisms of Thibodeau with terms of adjustments and all that stuff. Now he has a little bit more offensive weapons, so he's going to be looked at, early on to see how he implements everyone and how this team gels, who's going to be option 1, who's going to be option 2. This is going to be an interesting job this year for Tom Thibodeau. And I tell you one thing, if he's in the running again for Coach of the Year, then I mean, what can you say? So it's this Knicks team has a lot of storylines. It's a very interesting team, and I can't wait to see how it unfolds.
True story. All right, let's go. Got a couple super chats came in. Angelo Carlos sends a super chat. He says, "Salute to the crew. Salute to everyone in the chat. Excited for this season's post games just as much as the games themselves." My guy Angelo checking in from Las Vegas. He was out in some league holding it down. Hoodies vintage. Puma, I think Hoodies vintage. He's always at the Garden. Decked out in the latest and greatest, or sometimes the vintage, vintage Knicks gear, always fresh. He says, super excited about the season in depth. I am hopeful that Tibbs doesn't burn the vets out and thinks long term. Side question, will minutes be an issue? I don't think minutes will be an issue. I think you have your set core. You replaced Peyton and Bullock with Kemba and Fournier, and the rest stays the same. I think the rest stays the same.
But what about like Alex Burks in them fourth quarters, man?
He's in. Well, who finishes? Who finishes could be in question.
Yeah, right? Like them fourth quarters are going to be different, man, because Alex Burks was definitely coming through for many games for us in them fourth quarters, man, before he went down. So, 100%. I'm expecting Alex Burks to be in the fourth quarter. Like, he's going to be on the court. So, that's RJ going, correct?
But you see how Puma says that? That's what I'm saying. Like, there's going to be so many storylines. That's another 100%, one. What is the finishing lineup? You have Kemba here now. Rose is his guy. So, who finishes? Kemba, Rose.
Mr. Fourth Quarter, Fournier. I what Tibbs showed you last year was that, again, like JD said, there was times when he didn't trust RJ shooting, and he went with Burks, Bullock, IQ. He went with those guys because he wanted more shooting, right? And what they asked him in the post game press conference, they're like, "Tibbs, what happened to RJ?" And he would say stuff like, "Well, we were searching. In other words, we were looking for more consistent shooting at that time. So who closes? How do you factor in IQ, Derrick Rose, Kemba, Fournier, RJ, Burks? You got 6 guys right there that could legitimately vie to be out there with Julius, Mitch, and you could mix it around. So it's gonna be very interesting, man. It's gonna be very interesting to see where he goes.
You mentioned 6 guys that can score, but 6 guys that are known in certain points of their careers to have hit clutch shots. So they all have that ability as well. It's just not only scoring options, it's players that can produce in the fourth quarter. So, I don't know if he does it based on combinations or he may just do it based on how the game is going.
Yeah, I agree, man. Let me get to some more super chats, and then Davis hit me up on the on Google. So let me see what David's saying. Ari's into super chat, says, "We agree, no more Frank talk. Please stop with Frank." That wasn't me, man. That was a caller that brought it up, man. So I'm just,
get rid of him like Phil Jackson. Let it all go away.
That's a fact. Dave, what are you saying here? OG Dan on the phones. Okay, let me get to OG Dan. Puma, how you doing on time, man? We got about maybe like 10 more minutes.
I got about 5 more minutes.
Okay, all right, no doubt. All right, so let's go to OG Dan from Long Island. Dan, how you feeling, man?
Yo, what's good? What's going on, fellas?
How you doing, bro?
Enjoying the show tonight.
Yes, sir.
Yo, look, man, Sunday night Knicks in August, man. Ain't
Sunday
no
night
than
Knicks
that,
in August, Dan. We got 1,000 people in here. Let's go.
Just getting bigger and bigger. Real quick, 2 things. First of all, listen, CP, I know I joke around about him. I know you have a good professional issue with him, but I feel bad for Max Kellerman if what they're saying is true. Unless he's moving on to something better, you don't want nothing bad in nobody's career. I mean, I know I joke around with him on his Knicks hate or whatever, but I don't know if he's listening or his producers to your show, but whatever. I wish him good luck or whatever happens to him. And then the other thing I had for you fellas is this. You talk about the schedule or whatever. Can the networks flex out of those games? I see they have a lot of national games this year, right?
Yeah.
So can the networks flex out of those games if the Knicks aren't doing well, or do the Knicks have to be on those nationally televised games? I mean, obviously Christmas Day they have to be, but the only reason I ask that is because, I was disappointed with the national coverage. Whenever they had a national game, particularly late in the year, even Doris Burke, they didn't know the team very well. You would hope, though, with more national games, the national media will know our team better.
They don't do their
because
homework,
it's very
man.
difficult to listen when I know the team better than they do. It's tough to listen to the game. So
it's true.
Anyway, I want to know what you guys thought about that.
I think the flex is certainly possible. I think there has been situations, maybe even last year, or the year before that, JD, right, where we got flexed out of a national TV game. And then you also have the possibility that MSG could also be simulcasting the game as well. We don't know.
Yeah, especially like NBA TV games. I'm definitely hoping my man Walt Clyde is on
live
NBA TV.
Live and direct, yeah. So
I know that ESPN has more of the ability. I think TNT, it is what it is. And I know that early on, no matter how the team is early on part of the season, they go through it towards the second half, latter end. I know ESPN has that ability to switch up the game. They usually don't unless it's like, it's like the team is really bad and then you have a really good matchup that's slated that time. Right. Unless it's like something like that, they usually stick through it.
And as long as we got our man Mike Breen still in the mix, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. When he's doing our ESPN, ABC games, we should be good as long as we got Mike Breen still out there on the national stage, you know?
That's a fact, man. That is a fact. Puma, man. Listen, man. Definitely appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate you guys having me. Shout out to the whole Knick Nation, KnicksFanTV. Big shout out to my girls, Knicks Omni fans. I got to make sure I shout them out. Shout out to my girls, man. Those are my homies, man. And just shout out to everybody. This is going to be a good season.
Yeah, man.
God damn it, JD, you sold me. 51. You sold me, JD. I'm with you.
Yes, sir.
I'm with you.
Let's get it. Let's
Puma,
go.
let the people in the chat know where they can find you and what you're working on, man. Let them know about give them some background.
Puma 213 on all social media platforms, Instagram, all that. Black Ink Crew is coming back in October-ish.
Season 10.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Season 9B.
9-ish. Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So, you know what I mean? That's possible. Shout out to my people out in Georgia, Chase Village. They got working on an art village out there. Archer Ink Studios in Harlem, 135th and 7th. And all the Black Inks all across America. You know what I'm saying? We're everywhere. So, shout out to the whole family, the whole team.
Absolutely,
and,
man.
Nick Nation, we here. You know what I mean?
We
Always,
here, man.
always.
We here. We know what we talk Knicks on this show. Next episode, we got to talk boss talk, man, because you're doing a lot of big things in the community on the entrepreneurship wave, and we definitely have to have a whole show dedicated to that, man.
I appreciate that, man. You know what I mean? Trying to make it happen for the youth, them. You know what I'm talking about?
Of course. You don't know, man, and appreciate the time as usual, bro.
Yes, thank you, guys. Thank you, JD. Love JD. CP, you already know, man. KnicksFanTV. We outside.
Let's go.
Shout out to Puma from Black Ink Crew. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. We are here discussing the schedule and some Knicks off-season talk as well, man. CP, JD in the building here. Wrapping up fairly soon. We're going to get to our winner of the RJ 40K giveaway. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. We got a couple more calls we're going to take. Let me just rearrange the screens here, and we will get to the program. JD, man, not even basketball related, but did you even catch the Giants and Browns today, bro?
Yeah, I saw some of it. They, backup offensive line played decently. The starters didn't play. So I'm pretty sure that's something that you're interested in.
Yeah, it's like they switched the rules up now, which I'm all for player safety, don't get me wrong. But it's like I haven't really been able to really get into the season because it's like what I'm used to with the preseason games is, okay, first game, the starters go first series. Then you get to see, your draft picks. Then the next in line, then the next in line. So you get to see, like, okay, who has an outside shot, who's going to have some direct playing time. But now it's like they just mix in everybody on the second and third string. So it's kind of hard to see, like, who's going to get a legit shot to make it if you haven't been going through college football, and the draft all the way through. It's kind of difficult.
And I think a lot of it also is this is the first year that the NFL is going to a 17-game schedule. Mm-hmm. So now, coaches in these preseason, they're kind of mixing their game plans and looking at how that plays because, player safety continues to be a big emphasis. And, there's speculation now, CP, that it is inevitable that the league will go into an 18-game preseason season. And if that happens, what's going to happen is the preseason will be just, for player evaluations. And I just foresee a future where starters won't play preseason games and we'll just have to wait to see for the season. Now, as far as the Giants, it's looking like their next game against the Patriots will be the quote unquote dress rehearsal. Mm-hmm. And the starters are expected to play at least a quarter or a half. So, and now, in terms of relating it to the Knicks, this period right now is, kind of like that little dry spot. So once the NFL season starts, it kind of helps me cope with the waiting game for the Knicks. So I can't wait for the NFL season because then, more sports is back. We got NFL and then we got Knicks thereafter.
100%, man. 100%. So definitely looking forward to it because my guy Danny Dimes needs work. I'm not giving him the Danny Dimes nickname. Forget that. He needs work. But back to basketball. That's what I'm saying, JD. That's what I'm looking every game like, all right, let me see what he's doing. And I don't even get a chance to see him. Like, is he Aaron Rodgers or something? He needs to be out there with all these guys working for a spot, man. We need to know, is the franchise here or is he just like a game manager type of guy? What is his situation? I don't know.
We're going to find out.
We're going to find out. You seen Kyle Lauletta out there with the... Remember Kyle Lauletta? Davis Webb? Oh, man.
Davis Webb, like all these guys, somehow we're going to be, we're going to be these Russell Wilson because now everybody wants to get the next Brady, the next Russell Wilson, the next quarterback that's in the middle rounds.
Kyle Lauletta, bro. Can't make it up, man. Can't make it up.
And the Giants got the Chicago Bears first round pick next year. So for those that don't believe in Danny Dimes, Chicago Bears have a bad season. And if the Giants don't, then you have an opportunity in next year's draft to, possibly get your next franchise quarterback.
Yeah, 100%. And so the Bears are there, wavering between Dalton and Fields. And I'm just like, just make a decision, man. I just need to see you guys go down the tubes and give us that first round pick. You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be
Ryan
exciting in New
Nassib.
York. All
Yeah,
of
yeah.
New York, all of New York, CP. I mean, you and I are Giants fans. But
Yeah.
the Jets, they got a quarterback, and he's played well.
I
He
heard.
had
I
a
heard
good
Wilson's
game
looking
last
all right.
preseason.
Yeah.
So you talk about Jets, you talk about Giants, you talk about Rangers, you talk about Knicks. New York is going to be on fire this year.
Yeah, 100%, man. I got my fantasy football draft on the 7th. And that's another thing, too, why I'm like, I got to get into the preseason right now because I'm just not knowing who's who out there because the starters just aren't playing, you know? Like, where do you draft Saquon in this draft when he's not coming back until week 3? You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times I don't even pick Giants in fantasy football, bro, because the offense is just. And no, you know what? Slayton. I had Slayton last year, and he was okay. He was okay. Wasn't great, but he had some moments. But that's the thing with the Giants offense. You just don't know. You just don't know.
I'm not picking Danny Dimes or any fantasy stuff just because I just think that with their offensive line, they're just going to manage his plays, and he might be a game manager. He might be a very good one.
Yeah.
But I don't expect huge stats from him this year.
Yeah. All right, back to basketball. A couple more calls before we wrap up. We're gonna go to Marcus, Zay, and then we're gonna wrap with Jay Boogie that closes in the building. All right, so Marcus, you up first. What's going on, bro?
Yo, everybody, what's going on? How y'all doing, man?
How you doing, bro?
Yeah, I'm chilling, man. Just can't wait to the season start.
Yo, hold on, Marcus. You gotta fix your phone, man. You gotta fix your phone. I'm not sure what's going on.
Hello, you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear, man. Loud and clear.
All right, yeah. Just hoping that Kimba stay healthy, man. Just can't wait to the season, man. But here's the thing. I think they should have looked into also add some more shooters, like bring back Doug McDermott. Bring back another guy. You should bring back Kylo Quinn. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, you got Fournier. If I'm going between Fournier and Doug McDermott, I'm going with Fournier, and we're good on that. And Kylo Quinn's not helping us, bro. He's not helping anybody in the NBA. He's not in the NBA right now. So I think we're good with what we have. We have a solid enough front court depth. We got Obi, we got Noel, we got Sims, we got Taj. Kylo Quinn wasn't going to be an X factor for us. And then, we got, I think we increased our shooting. We got Fournier here. We got Burks back. We have 2 rookies who can shoot the 3-ball well. I think we did fairly well in the shooting department. Let's just see what happens. Again, RJ year 3. Will he be consistent there? Will Julius be consistent there? If so, I think we will have helped ourselves in that department.
And I mean, Doug McDermott signed for $42 million.
Yeah.
I mean, once you get to that 40 range, give me Fournier who can create, can create and do other things on the floor.
Right. I mean, listen, McBuckets had his chance here, man, and he didn't do it for me, man. So I was against any type of Doug McDermott acquisition here in free agency. But good luck to him.
Usually those things don't play out either. Like the whole returning to the team.
Nah.
It's played out for Rose. He's been the only one.
That's it, man.
And you can make the case he had a little excuse the first go round because he was, coming back from those injuries and then, everything that was going on with the coach and the team and all that stuff. So other than that, nah. Give me Fournier.
Marcus from Queens, so he might know Kylo Quinn. Because I'm wondering, Kylo Quinn, he's from Queens. Kylo Quinn is from Queens.
Yeah.
So I think there might have been an agenda there. I'm just guessing. I don't know you well, Marcus. I don't know.
Maybe Quinn called him.
Yeah, maybe Quinn called him.
KnicksFanTV.
He's in Turkey right now. Maybe he called him like, yo, throw my hat in the building. KnicksFanTV, they might have some influence, No, not Kylo Quinn, man. Not Kylo Quinn. All right, Zay from Maryland. Zay, what's going on, bro?
What's going on, guys?
What's
How y'all
good?
doing?
It's chilling. How you feeling, bro?
Good, man. That was a good laugh. He said Kylo Quinn and Doug McDermott.
I think that might be his cousin, man. I think he's thinking, KO and Doug McDermott, they had a little chemistry when they were here. A little chemistry.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's missing those little backdoor passes.
He's missing the back doors, but Marcus has to understand we've upped our standards now. Those are the old Knicks. Those are the lottery Knicks. You know what I'm saying? This is playoff basketball time.
The tomato started flying.
That's kind of what I wanted to. Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to touch on, though, man. Like, look how far we've come, man.
Yeah.
Not too long ago, we were hyping up Doug McDermott and Kylo Quinn, and our team looks a lot better talent-wise. Like, this is the first time 1 through 15. Like, we really don't know where the time is going to go. We don't know who's going to get what minutes. Like, and that's a good problem to have. What that tells me is there's more to come. I feel like that's why, I think there's more to Julius Randle taking the contract that he took. He must know something more than anyone else on the team if he took such a cheap contract about what's going to happen down the line. But ultimately, I think my biggest thing is for next season, RJ is the deciding factor. I think Tibbs is going to try to mold RJ pretty much into Jimmy Butler 2.0. And he's going to pretty much primarily be defense. And RJ could also go back to just playing his old style, just kind of running the floor, just playing his own game instead of being on the corner shooting threes. We got enough shooters now. Now RJ can kind of facilitate more, if that. But our biggest outlier is RJ turning to Jimmy Butler 2.0, or not necessarily 2.0, but kind of getting into that defense first mindset.
Yeah.
And then also Julius has to, I don't care what happens, he has to pass first. Regardless of what, he can get his buckets later, but pass first. Let the rest of the team eat, and then he will do a lot better with his numbers. His numbers will continue to grow. If anything other than that, he's going to plateau, and people are going to be ready to get him out the door. So, I mean, that's what it is. But as far as the schedule, we good. I'm calling 50 games.
50 games for Zay. Okay. Appreciate the call, Zay. All right, so Zay's optimistic.
CP, I think you're the lowest guy tonight. Win total.
I said 47. I'm in the neighborhood, bro. I'm in the hood. I'm there.
No, yeah, you definitely in the neighborhood, but that just speaks to, man, the expectations.
Expectations. I'm telling you.
I'm looking at the chat. I'm shedding a tear as I'm looking at all these names of, the caller was talking about how far we've come, and I'm looking at some of these names the chat is throwing out.
Oh yeah, they throwing it back.
Players.
Yeah, they bringing everybody back to the barbecue. I'm seeing Greg Butler, Gerard Mustaf.
Marty Collins, Ron Baker.
Big Marty Collins, man. Ron Baker, the shot
Norris.
Baker. Oh man, he said bring back Sean Williams. Salute to Cardi 151 in the chat, says peace KFTV. What's going on with Bacon? Is he in or is he out? Been here from the beginning, and I'm loving the come up hashtag. We finally here. Yeah, so I said earlier on the show that Dwayne Bacon, he's on a non-guaranteed deal, so it's just a training camp deal. Will he make the team? I mean, stranger things have happened, but you got to figure that they would have to make a move to accommodate him. I don't have the depth chart in front of me, JD. I don't know if you have it handy right now to see who we have on the roster right now, but I think we're pretty full. I think we're pretty full.
Yeah, according to this man, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Remember Sims is on the two-way, so don't count him in the 15, in the 15 man. Sims is like he's like 16, 17 technically.
So and how about Luka?
Luka's young. Luka's on, so he's part of the 15.
Right, so you got Kemba.
Yeah.
Luka, Obi, that's 3.
Mm-hmm.
Rose, Mitch, 5.
Mm-hmm.
Randall, Quickly, 7. Nerlens Noel, 8. Mm-hmm. McBride, 9. Knox, 10.
Mm-hmm.
Grimes, 11. Taj, 12. Mm-hmm. Fournier, 13. Burks, 14. Barrett, 15.
15.
So that's 15 without adding.
That's 15 already, right? Yeah. And then I said Sims already has one spot of the extended roster. So Sims is on the two-way. You figure maybe the other Sims gets a two-way maybe. I figure Aaron Sims, say Sims or Walker get the other two-way maybe. Right? Yeah. And then you already counted Vildoza in that 15?
Yep.
Right, so Bacon is on the training camp roster, so he's 18. Rokas didn't sign a deal. He's stashed in Spain. They have his draft rights. Yep. So then if that's the case, then we have 2 more training camp spots open. Right, unless you factor in MJ Walker, who's 19. Yeah.
Yeah, because I counted 15 without adding both Sims, and without adding Bacon.
Sims, Bacon, Walker. That's 19. So you have 20. They have one more spot that they could offer up on a vet minimum deal for a training camp roster, but it's set. The roster's set.
Yeah.
So in other words, for Bacon to make the team, they either got to get rid of Knox or get rid of Knox. They're not getting rid of Vildoza. I don't think they're going to get rid of Vildoza based on the money that they paid him to come here.
Nope, and you would have thought they would have gotten rid of him by now.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that.
There was plenty of opportunity to do that with some of these signings to create cap space.
Yeah.
There was opportunity to do that. You know, the guy got hurt, and they still keeping him after summer league. He's still on the team. We talked about the money they spent with the fee to get him. I think they're going to give him a legitimate shot to at least stick on the roster here in preseason.
Yeah. Yeah, so that the roster, I mean, the main roster is pretty much set. I think it's pretty much set. So I don't think Bacon will end up making it. But again, stranger things have happened. Knock on wood. You hope everything stays healthy. But
I think just like Gilchrist, you sign these players because you like the player, right? Mm-hmm. There's something that you saw that you like, so you sign them now. And what you do is, it gives you an opportunity if something catastrophic happens, somebody gets hurt, one of your wing players gets hurt, then you already have somebody to kind of slide in there. Other than that, no.
Yeah, I agree with you there. All right, JD, so we're going to close with the closer. We're going to give away the ball, the RJ basketball. We hit 1,000 people in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. We only got 531 likes. Let's get up to 1,000 before the show's over. CPJD here. We just had Puma from Black Ink Crew in the building. We had a special guest. We were breaking down the schedule, talking all-season talk. Great show. Let's close it out. J Boogie, what's happening, bro?
Salute. Three capital S's. First thing first, before I go any further. Can y'all hear me clear?
Loud and clear, man. Always loud and clear. What's good, bro?
Okay, I decided, call in on the house phone, you know what I'm saying, because I'm watching out for my sister on the other phone. I'm getting ready to ride up top and take care of my sister and lay her to rest Tuesday, so I'm on my way. I'll be giving you a call tomorrow.
No problem.
But shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Love and appreciate every effort, every thought, every ear, every finger that type. Everything about y'all, man. Y'all are the ones that make up the podcasters, that make up the Knicks fans, and make up the rosters and everything. It's everybody that's in the chat, man. We love and appreciate you all. You know what I'm saying? Go left real quick. If you fantasy, you got a good look at book of the day. You can draft Barkley somewhere between 3 and 5 because you should be handcuffing Barkley. Yeah. Now you know you got a handcuff.
That's the thing with me, J Boogie, man. That's the thing with me in fantasy. I'm never good at handcuffing the backups with the starters, man. I never get a chance to do that in fantasy, man. That's been my one weakness in fantasy football. My one weakness.
Don't worry about it. Yeah. I'm a phone call away. I am a fantasy monster.
Let's go. Yo, when is your draft, bro? I forgot. When is your draft, man? Don't let me miss that, bro. Please.
Oh, that's already gone. Everybody don't fill that up. It's over with. It's gone.
Yo, J Boogie, my fault, man. You should have reminded me, bro. My fault, man.
Man, don't even worry about it, man. But what I want to say real quick, it's almost time. And when I say it's almost time, all that off work you putting in, you trying to get your game up, work on this, work on that, you know what I'm saying, develop your game, it's almost time to show and prove that. It's almost time for you to get in the camp and show that off, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because really right here what we got guys that's trying to take people jobs, and we got guys that's trying to keep their jobs. I love the competition that Leon Rose has put inside our
90
That's
seconds.
The thing we got, man. Y'all talking about you want to know we got 15, 16, 17. When was the last time we could say we had an 18? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Half a 36, you know what I'm saying? Half a 72. Those are numbers that, you know what I'm saying, that accumulate and look good for what we got going on. I love the competition. Get in the gym. Get ready. Yeah, shirts and skins. You ain't got no jersey yet, so you in skins. Take somebody's jersey you want to get on the court. And if you got a jersey, you're trying to make sure somebody that's in skins.
60 seconds.
We are completely deep. You know what I'm saying? You got Derrick Rose pushing Kimball. You got McBride pushing all three of them. You got RJ, you got Burks, you got Evan, we got all those scenarios around the 2 and the 3, you know what I'm saying? We are so deep, and then you got Obi, he pushing. You got the centers, we pushing, you know what I'm saying? And the coaching staffs, they pushing them. So I love the situation we in, man, you know what I'm saying? I can't wait for the camp to start. And yeah, they gave us our respect, gave us some games, you know what I'm saying? How we supposed to be rightfully on TV. You shouldn't have never took Christmas away from us. I don't care how bad we was playing. Ain't no Christmas better than New York City Christmas, the ice capades, the snowballs, you know what I'm saying? The fashion. You see the old ladies wearing the pea coats and hats and stuff. Ain't no city better than New York. So we back on Christmas Day, man.
10 seconds.
It, man. But shout out to everybody, you know what I'm saying? Keep doing what you're doing, man. It's a beautiful day, a Sunday, a blissful day. Should have been family day. And don't be mad, oh, man, I got to go to work Monday. Be happy you got a job to get up and wake up and go to tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? So salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's. I love y'all, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Protect yourself. That thing is still out here. And you know my routine, you know what I'm saying? Fathers, love your kids. Mothers, love your kids. Husbands, love your wives. And wives, love your husband. That's family. Shout out to my man, you know what I'm saying? Griselda. That's my young boy, you know what I'm saying? Right there. He coming up. He on the rise right there, you know what I'm saying? And you know, of course, I got the young Lloyd Banks, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to our baby girl. She's somewhere wondering room and flying in a hot jet. And shout out to my man Super Dave, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's.
And he's out of here. Throw a 5 in the chat for Jay Boogie laying it down once again. Salute to Jay Boogie. Calling on the house phone, man. Sounded crystal clear, man. Sounded crystal clear. Let's go. Shout out to Ash. Ash is on her grind. She's on her Sports Illustrated grind. But she just hit me up tonight. She's ready to go for the season. Ready to go for the preseason. Hopefully these Knicks are ready to go, man. These Knicks are definitely ready to go. Great show tonight, JD. Let's give away the ball. Salute to the people. If you guys haven't already, man, as Jay Boogie said, make sure you go out and catch that Evan Fournier interview. The first interview, JD. The first one. Where did he go? He didn't go to the papers. He didn't go to ESPN. He came to speak directly to the people. He's a man of the people. And you know what the best part was that a lot of people got some insight into who he was, who he is as a player, how he approaches the game. You know, we gave him that. We gave him that. And that was big, man. I appreciate him for doing that. Definitely appreciate him for giving the time. Appreciate the fans for recommending KnicksFanTV for Fournier. But, to get that interview first, that was big. That was definitely big for the platform. So everybody who participated in making that happen, definitely want to shout you guys out, man, because that was a major milestone for KnicksFanTV. 100%. 100%.
Absolutely, man. It was a huge. I told you privately, it was a big moment for the platform, for the brand, but also for the fans. The fans helped get KnicksFanTV to this point. And I was happy that he was able to get the opportunity on KnicksFanTV to connect with the fans. It was a live show, so it wasn't a pre-recorded thing. It was a live show, and we were able to, get some insight into a lot of great questions that you asked, in terms of what is he looking to improve in his game? What is he looking to add? The whole, even the number thing, what was his process in choosing the number? SNY's account reported that after, he said it here on KnicksFanTV. And even I thought it was actually pretty cool. Even the moment where he was looking for his headphones and, the audio thing, I thought it was pretty cool. The way that, you handled it, the way that he handled it. Those are like real moments that connect with the fans. Yeah. And I just love this insight. And he seemed genuine. He seemed honest. True. And, shout out to you, CP, man. You provided this platform, and I'm just happy that, you were able to get that opportunity, and it was well deserved.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. And like I said, man, it's the fans that brought it together. So as expected, we gave the fans opportunity to talk to them themselves. And you're not getting that nowhere else, man. You're not getting that on ESPN. You're not getting that on these other stations. Not to knock them, they do their own thing, but this is a different age. This is a different time. And we should be able to put together a forum that's respectful and that's, brings fans together that have knowledge and sense. And that's all fans, man. We are analytically driven, and we come to the table and represent ourselves well, represent the fan base well. And for teams to not take the opportunity to do that, teams do it, but they do it for the people that pay money. They do it for the season ticket holders, right? And I think there should be an opportunity for everybody to connect with their players, because it's not just money that you invest into a team. You invest in your time, your sweat equity, your emotions, all of that. So I think, everybody should get that opportunity to connect more with the team and bond more with the team. And if these teams are smarter, they continue to do so, because it only helps in marketing and promoting the brand.
Yo, and it wasn't no regular interview. You coming to the Knicks interview. You coming on KnicksFanTV.
Yeah.
This chat could be a little bit tough on you sometimes.
That's a fact.
So
you
props to
represented
him.
well, man.
Props to him for doing that. And the last thing I'll say is one of the interesting takeaways for me in terms of things he said was, I don't know if it was Papa Left. I think it was Papa Left that asked him about. He wanted to know, what do the players really think about, this thing that people say in terms of the Knicks being a laughing stock and the Knicks not being an attractive destination and stuff, and him disagreeing, I thought was interesting in terms of, kind of validating what we have always thought in terms of the national media. They like to create these headlines. They like to create a narrative. Right. And then the players, actually think something differently, and I always say there's other personal factors that factor into New York. You have the taxes, you have the weather. This is a new generation, and it's basketball. Players want to be in positions to win. In this NBA, with technology and the media and endorsements, players can make money anywhere. Players want to be in situations where they're put in the best situations to succeed, to produce, and to win. And that's why now the Knicks are in that conversation. It's not only because of the New York market, it's because we actually are producing a product out there for everyone to see that is resulting in winning basketball.
True. 100%. 100%. You hit the nail on the head. Definitely hit the nail on the head. Well said, man. Let's give away this basketball, wrap up the night. So to everybody in the chat once again, let's do the damn thing. So real quick, let me hit my contest music here. Okay. JD, did you sign up for the giveaway?
You know what? To be honest, I did not, because I don't want nobody to say that it's fixed.
I got you.
Or anything.
You could have done it.
You
could have done it. All good. Definitely all good. Okay. All right. So we had over 5,000 entries, bro. Believe it or not, 5,000 entries.
Wow.
And who's gonna win it? The winner is, and I can't show it like I usually show with the other giveaways, because this has like people's email addresses, so I gotta be cognizant of privacy and things of that nature. So I can't show it. But there's no foot tricks here, people. There are no tricks. The winner of the RJ basketball. Now this is gonna be crazy because you only put one name. It's kind of like Prince. But I'm not gonna put his email out there. We're just gonna reach out to him separately. So his name is Michael. Congrats to Michael. And if you think that's you, my apologies in advance, because there's only one person that we're gonna reach out to by this email that I can't give out. And he left his first name Michael.
You have 100 Michaels here.
Yeah, we probably got 1,000 Michaels in here, man. So, you know what we're gonna have to do for future giveaways? We're gonna have to make the last name mandatory, because this could be anybody. But Michael is the winner. He has an email address that we're gonna reach out to, and he's gonna have a couple days to claim it. If he doesn't claim it, we'll go to the next person. That's really as much information as I can get, because I can't give out the person's email address. So
you already got a few Michaels in the chat.
Yeah. Apologies in advance. Dave will reach out to Mike. And it had to be like the most common name in the history of mankind, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It had to be the most common name in the history of mankind, but that's the name that came out the hat. And I have an email.
Hopefully it ain't Jordan trolling us.
Yeah, hopefully it ain't Jordan. And yeah, that's the story, man. JD, go ahead and sign out, man.
Great show, and it's always fun to be a part of these moments. When we have these engagements with the fans tonight, giving away the RJ basketball. So KnicksFanTV, every show continues to elevate and elevate.
Yes, sir.
And thank you for having me. And on Twitter, if you guys would like to follow me, is JD Sports Talk NY, and on YouTube is JD Sports Talk. Pretty simple. And let's get ready for the next phase in the off season.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. And once again, so to everybody in the chat, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Remember, the show's presented by Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com, enter promo code Knicks for 20% off plus free shipping. Fellas, go out there and support the channel. Go get the Lawnmower 4.0 and their gift packages. Get 20% off plus free shipping with promo code Knicks. Also, remember that the show is available in audio podcast format, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all the major platforms. So if you miss it in video, you can always catch it in audio, including the Evan Fournier interview, Spike Lee, the Kemba Walker fan reactions. We did over 1 million views in the last month. 1 million views in the last month alone. There is no off season on KnicksFanTV. We keep it rocking. The fans are always into this. 1 million views alone in the last month. So again, appreciate everybody for tuning in, for supporting, sending the super chats, donating, and building this channel up, man. We out of here. CPJD, out of here.